Chinese New Year, 中国新年快乐. I'm Miss Huang, and you can call me Huang 老师. Today, I'm very happy to share you some Chinese New Year stories, which are including the story of Nian and the 12 animal story. Hope you will enjoy the stories. The story of Nian. Once upon a time, long, long ago, there lived a monster in China called Nian. He lived under the sea in a cave and slept most of the year. He only awoke for one day each year, the last day before the Lunar New Year began. The warmer weather woke him, and he rose from the sea, hungry and ferocious. Nian was a man-eater. He would come to the villages in China each year to devour people and wreck their houses. Many had tried to battle with the mighty Nian. Many had tried, and all had failed. The people of one particular village were so terrified that every year they fled to the hills to try to escape the wrath of Nian. One year, on the eve of the Lunar New Year, an old traveler came to the village. He was bent and weary from his travels, and he desperately wanted food and lodging. He went to the door of a house to beg for food, but the woman inside turned him away. She had no time for beggars because she was preparing for the move up to the mountain. The old man tried to ask a young girl on the street for help, but she was too busy as well. She had to find her brothers and sisters and start the long walk up to the mountain to escape the monster. The only person who paid the old man any notice at all was an old woman. She was sweeping outside her house and realized that the traveler needed food. She walked inside and returned to the man with a bowl of noodles. While the old traveler ate, he sat and watched the villagers running about. He asked what all the fuss was about, and the woman explained that because Nian was coming that night, the villagers were going to hide in the hills to ensure that their village was overlooked by the monster. The woman looked worried, and the old man asked her why. The old woman didn't think that she'd be able to make the trip to the hills that year. Her bones were old and she was weary. The old man smiled to himself. He knew how to repay the old woman's kindness. He could tell her how to make sure that the monster Nian never bothered her village again. The next morning, the villagers returned to their houses. They had spent the night in the hills and had heard bands and seen bright lights coming from the village. They feared that Nian had destroyed their homes. But as they walked down the main street, the people were amazed. Their houses were still standing. Everything looked peaceful. And the old woman who refused to come to the hills was outside her house smiling. How did you survive, Nian? The villagers asked the old woman. The old woman explained that the traveler had told her an amazing secret about Nian. The monster was afraid of the color red, loud noises, and fire. The old woman and the traveler had covered the village houses with red paper banners. They had lit firecrackers. They had found every pot and pan they could and banged on them loudly. The monster had turned away from the village because it was scared by the noise and the color. The following year, all of the villagers stayed behind in the village for the Lunar New Year. They lit firecrackers, banged on drums, and wore the red color. Nian was nowhere to be seen. From that day to this, the New Year is celebrated in the same way. The villagers know that Nian is only asleep and could easily wake up and decide to attack their town. So each year they use firecrackers, drums, and the color red to keep him away. Here are some words that from this story I want to introduce to you. 年 红色 means red. 大声 means loud sound. 鞭炮 means firecracker, fireworks. 祝大家新年快乐 Happy Chinese New Year. The 12th Animal Story. A long time ago in China, the Jade Emperor decided that there should be a way to measure time. He told the animals they were to compete in a race. The first 12 animals would be rewarded by having a year named after them. On the day of the race, all the animals lined up beside the river. The rat and the cat, who were good friends, were worried as they were not very good at swimming. They asked the ox if he would carry them across on his back. The ox agreed and they jumped on his back. When the race started, the rat and the cat were very pleased that the ox took the lead. They were almost across at the other side when the rat pushed the cat into the water and jumped on the bank to finish first. Well done, said the Jade Emperor to the rat. The first year of the zodiac well named after you. The poor ox was tricked into second place, and so the second year of the zodiac was named after him. Shortly after, the exhausted tiger arrived on the river bank. Swimming the river had been very difficult, as he had to fight strong currents. The next to arrive was the rabbit, who had not swum across but hopped across on some stepping stones and then onto a floating log, which carried him to the river bank. I shall call the fourth year after you, the surprised Jade Emperor said. Taking fifth place was the dragon. How come you didn't win the race when you could fly across? The emperor asked. I stopped to help some animals, the dragon explained. Heading towards the line was the horse. Just as he thought the horse would cross. The sly snake wriggled from around one of the horse's hooves. The horse was so surprised that he jumped backwards, giving the snake a chance to slither forward and take sixth place. The horse made it for seventh place. Not long afterwards, a rat arrived carrying the monkey, the rooster, and the goat. They explained how they had worked as a team to get across. The emperor was very pleased. He said to the goat would be the 8th year, and the monkey would be the 9th, the rooster 10th. The next animal to arrive was a dog. What took you so long when you are such a good swimmer? Asked the emperor. The river was so clean that I decided to have a bath along the way, the dog explained. He was rewarded with the 11th year. There was one place left in the zodiac, and the emperor wondered who the last winner would be. All of a sudden, the pig turned up. You took a long time. What happened? The emperor asked. I was hungry and stopped to eat, and then I fell asleep, said the pig. The 12th year was given to the pig. As for the cat, he finally crawled out of the river, but was too late to have a year named after him. He was very angry with the rat for pushing him in, and since then, cats have never been friends with the rat. So the 12 animals, the ranking is like this. The first place, rat, 老鼠. The second place, ox, 牛. The third place, tiger, 老虎. The fourth place, rabbit, 兔子. The fifth place, dragon, 龙. The sixth place, snake, 蛇. The seventh place, 马. The eighth place, 羊. The ninth place, monkey, 猴子. The 10th place, rooster, 鸡. The 11th place, dog, 狗. The last place, the 12th place, is a pig, 猪. From that day to this, the Chinese zodiac has followed this cycle of years, named after the 12 animals. Let me introduce you the 12th zodiac, 12生肖。一鼠，二牛，三虎，四兔，五龙，六蛇，七马，八羊，九猴，十鸡，11狗，12猪。祝大家新年快乐，牛年行大运。Happy Chinese New Year! Wish you have a happy and healthy year of ox. 再见，拜拜。